Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Love can shake your foundation, and life often tests your limits. In a world where chaos is normal and emotions often rule decisions, mastering your calm isn't just powerful, it's necessary. It's not about becoming emotionless, it's about learning to respond rather than react, about being the stillness in the storm, not the one drowning in it. Today's video is one of the most important we've ever created. 10 powerful ways to stay calm in love and life. Because calm men are not weak, they are clear, grounded, unshakable. And that kind of man, he's rare, he's desired, he's respected. We'll explore real-life insights, relationship dynamics, emotional control, and inner discipline, all through the lens of wisdom, not wishful thinking. These are tools every man should have, but very few are ever taught. If you're ready to rise above emotional chaos and build a life of strength, clarity, and purpose, you're in the right place. Like the video, share it with a brother who needs it, and subscribe for more wisdom grounded in power. Drop a comment below to join the conversation. Now let's dive in. Chapter 1. The calm begins within, mastering your inner world. Before you can control anything in love, in conflict, or in chaos, you must first master the battlefield within. This is where calm is born, and this is where it's most often lost. Men are told to be strong, to be unshaken, but we're rarely taught how to do that. We're told to man up, don't cry, walk away, but never how to sit with ourselves in silence and listen to what our emotions are actually trying to tell us. That's not strength. That's avoidance, disguised as masculinity. Real strength, the kind that radiates in a calm voice during an argument, or the kind that refuses to chase validation when love feels uncertain, that comes from inner governance, from knowing how to regulate your mind, your breath, your thoughts. Because when the storm hits, it's not about avoiding the wind, it's about building the stillness inside you to withstand it. Let's break this down. 1. Silence is strength. The first powerful way to stay calm in love and life is to make peace with silence. Most men fear silence because it forces them to hear their own unprocessed thoughts. But silence is not emptiness, it is a forge. It is where clarity is sharpened and emotional intelligence is born. Make it a ritual. Each day, even for 10 minutes, sit in complete silence. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Watch how difficult it is at first. You'll want to run. That's exactly why you must stay. You'll begin to hear the difference between your reaction and your intuition, between what you feel and what is real. That's where calm begins, by learning to observe yourself instead of constantly escaping yourself. 2. Control the controllables. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Men destroy their calm by trying to control everything, the outcome of a relationship, the emotions of their partner, the opinions of others, but trying to control the uncontrollable is a fast lane to suffering. Focus instead on response over reaction. You cannot control how she feels, but you can control how you respond to it. You cannot control the market, but you can control your financial discipline. This is emotional intelligence 101. Put your energy where it will actually serve you. 3. Understand the roots of reactivity. Reactivity is not masculinity, it's usually just unhealed trauma dressed in testosterone. When a man yells, withdraws, or punishes in love, what he's often doing is reenacting wounds from the past. A distant father, an early heartbreak, a betrayal never processed. If you don't face your inner chaos, you will bring it into every situation, especially love. That's why love becomes so volatile for many men. It's not her, it's the unexamined stories you project onto her. The calm man doesn't deny pain, he investigates it. He uses journaling, therapy, reflection, or brotherhood to heal, not to hide. 4. The pause is power. One of the most underrated tools in emotional mastery is the pause. That moment, right before you say something cruel in a fight. That instant, right before you send a text out of desperation. That breath before you give in to anger or anxiety. In that pause is your freedom. Start training yourself to pause. Take one breath before you speak. Count to 5 before you reply. Walk away and return. These aren't signs of weakness. These are signals of leadership. The man who pauses is not passive. He is powerful because he acts from intention, not impulse. 5. Study, calm men and become one. Study men who stayed calm under fire. Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, still emerged with a heart full of forgiveness. Viktor Frankl, in the horror of Auschwitz, found meaning through the mastery of his mind. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, writing Stoic truths by candlelight during plague and war. None of these men had easy lives, but all of them cultivated a calm that could not be shaken because it wasn't built on circumstance, it was built on character. Read their words, study their habits, learn from their discipline. Calm is a habit, not a talent. 6. Emotional awareness creates emotional freedom. To stay calm in love and life, you must develop emotional fluency. Most men operate on 2 settings, I'm fine or I'm angry. But there are many more: disappointment, fear, longing, frustration, guilt, shame, joy, hope. If you don't know how to name it, you won't know how to navigate it. That's why many relationships fail, not because of lack of love, but because of lack of emotional language. Take time to name what you're feeling. Practice saying it, not for weakness, but for clarity. A man who understands his emotions can move through them. A man who doesn't, he'll be controlled by them. If you want to remain calm in a chaotic world, begin with this truth. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. Let that gate be guarded by silence, ruled by reflection, and disciplined by pause. Because once you master the inside, nothing on the outside can shake you. Drop a comment. I am calm, even in chaos. Chapter 2. Emotional Control in Love. The Art of Staying Grounded. When feelings run deep, love can be the most beautiful source of calm or the most dangerous trigger for chaos. Many men struggle not because they don't care, but because they care too much in ways they were never trained to understand. You fall in love, and suddenly you feel everything intensely: desire, fear, hope, insecurity. But if you don't know how to manage these waves, they will toss you around. You'll lose yourself trying to hold on to someone else. Emotional mastery isn't about locking your feelings away. It's about understanding them deeply and responding with intention. In love, the man who remains centered doesn't dominate. He leads with presence, patience, and quiet strength. 1. Don't chase. Love, anchor yourself. First, when men chase love, they abandon themselves. And when you abandon yourself, you lose your calm. This happens when your identity becomes entangled with how she sees you. You stop being the man who chooses and start becoming the man who waits to be chosen. Emotional control starts with rooting your value in who you are, not in who accepts or rejects you. Calm is the result of knowing, if you stay, I am whole. If you leave, I am still whole. Never beg for love. Lead with wholeness. That's attractive. That's powerful. 2. Recognize the emotional roller coaster. And step off love often brings with it emotional highs and lows, especially in the early stages. One text can make your day, one silence can ruin it. This addiction to emotional spikes is emotional immaturity disguised as passion. Stop letting your nervous system be hijacked by every move your partner makes. Instead, learn to observe your feelings without obeying them. Yes, feel them, acknowledge them, but don't act on every impulse. Calm men feel deeply but act wisely. They do not confuse emotional reaction with emotional truth. 3. Learn to validate yourself, not just be validated by her. A huge mistake men make is using their partner as their only mirror. When she's warm, you feel worthy. When she's cold, you feel confused. That's not love, that's dependence. Real emotional strength comes from self-validation. You affirm yourself. You recognize your efforts, your growth, your value. Her appreciation becomes a bonus, not your foundation. This is especially critical in relationships where emotions fluctuate. If you rely entirely on her to feel calm, she will unconsciously sense your emotional neediness, and that energy will push her away. Want to be calm in love? Be your own emotional anchor. 4. Don't take the bait. Choose your response. In conflict. Arguments in love are not just about the words exchanged, they're about the energy behind them. In moments of conflict, the invitation to chaos is strong. She says something sharp. Your ego flares. You want to strike back. That's the bait. But emotional mastery is about pausing and choosing. Ask yourself, is this reaction about her or about my unhealed ego? Speak with truth, not with venom. Walk away if needed, not to punish her, but to protect your peace. Come back with a clear mind, not a loaded gun. Conflict is not about winning, it's about understanding without losing your center. 5. Know the difference between love and attachment. Attachment says, I need you to be okay. Love says, I want you to be okay even if it's not with me. This is one of the hardest truths for men to learn, because deep attachment often feels like deep love, but attachment is about control. Love is about connection. The more you confuse the two, the more you lose your calm when things feel uncertain. You cling, you panic, you obsess. But when you learn to let go of control, you begin to love more purely and with more peace. You cannot love clearly if you fear losing. 6. Practice emotional transmutation. Emotions are energy. What you do with that energy determines who you become. You feel anger? Channel it into the gym, into your goals, into discipline. You feel longing? Put it into your craft, your growth, your becoming. You feel hurt? Write, reflect, build something from it. This is what alchemists do. They take raw emotional energy and transform it into personal evolution. That's what emotionally intelligent men do in relationships. They don't lash out, they transmute. 7. Set boundaries without fear of loss. One of the most powerful expressions of calm is the ability to say no, not out of defensiveness, but out of clarity. Many men lose their peace in love because they're afraid to set boundaries. They fear being too firm, too distant, too selfish. But boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines for peace. If something violates your values, speak up. If something drains your spirit, step back. Not with anger, with calm certainty. A man who sets boundaries doesn't push love away. He protects the space where love can grow with respect. In love, emotional chaos often masks itself as passion, but the truth is, calm men love better. Because their love is not desperate, it is deliberate. It's not rooted in fear, it's rooted in presence. Let love be something you give from your overflow, not something you chase to fill your emptiness. That is how calm becomes your superpower, not just in life, but in love. Drop a comment. I am peace, even in passion. Chapter 3. Calm in the storm. How strong men handle chaos, conflict, and pressure. Calm is not built in times of comfort. It is forged in fire. Any man can appear composed when life is smooth, when love flows easily, and when plans unfold as expected. But that's not true calm, that's convenience. The real test of a man's strength is how he holds himself when the ground shakes beneath him, when love feels uncertain, and when life feels like a war zone. And this isn't about pretending everything is fine, it's about becoming the kind of man who is unshaken, not because life is easy, but because his spirit is rooted. This is where calm meets courage. Let's break down how powerful men handle storms, and how you can become one of them. 1. Don't run, respond. When chaos erupts, the average man either lashes out or shuts down. But the calm man doesn't run from the fire. He steps back, breathes, and assesses. In relationships, this means not disappearing when things get heated, but also not escalating them. In life, it means holding your ground, not because you're fearless, but because you've trained yourself to lead with wisdom, not emotion. The strongest man in the room is usually the one who speaks the least and observes the most. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Second, turn chaos into clarity. Conflict reveals what peace hides. The fight with your partner, the loss of your job, the betrayal by someone close, these are painful, but they're also opportunities. Every chaotic moment holds a mirror to something inside you, your expectations, your fears, your limits. Use the storm to clarify who you are and what you stand for. Ask, what is this teaching me? Not why is this happening to me? The man who extracts wisdom from chaos doesn't just survive, he ascends. 3. Ground yourself in Stoic practices. The Stoics were not emotionless, they were emotionally disciplined. Men like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius understood that calm is a practice, not a personality trait. They taught, control what you can, accept what you can't. Expect adversity, it is the path to growth. Detach from outcomes, attach to effort. These teachings weren't abstract, they were tools for survival and strength. Practice journaling your thoughts. Repeat Stoic affirmations like, I remain calm no matter the storm. Live by the inner code, not the outer chaos. 4. Practice breath control to regain power. When the mind spirals, the breath reveals the truth. Shallow, rapid breathing is a sign of panic. Deep, intentional breathing is the anchor of calm. When you feel overwhelmed, whether during an argument, a business setback, or emotional overload, pause and breathe deeply. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This slows your heart rate. It recenters your nervous system. It gives your brain space to think, not just react. The calm man uses his breath as a weapon against chaos. 5. Don't take anything personally. This is a secret weapon in relationships and leadership. What others do is rarely about you. She pulls away. It might be her own fear. He lashes out at work. It might be his own insecurity. They betray you. That's their character, not your fault. Taking things personally makes you reactive. Understanding human nature makes you calm. People carry wounds. They act out of fear, pain, ego. The calm man sees this and doesn't internalize it. He protects his peace by choosing perspective over personalization. 6. Keep your mission bigger than the moment. When the world shakes, return to your mission. A man without purpose will be consumed by every small problem. A man with purpose can absorb pressure because he knows what he's building. That argument? Temporary? That failure? A lesson? That storm? A test of the foundation you've built. Remind yourself, I am not just here to survive chaos, I'm here to rise through it, to build through it, to lead in it. Purpose makes small fires feel manageable because you're too focused on building your kingdom to waste time putting out every spark. To 8. Remember that chaos is seasonal. No pain lasts forever. No storm stays for good. The mind lies to you when you're overwhelmed. It whispers, this is permanent. But the wise man knows everything changes. No matter how dark the night, morning always comes. Hold on to this truth when you're losing grip. Sometimes, the calmest thing you can do is trust the cycle. Breathe, endure, refocus. The peace will return, and when it does, you'll be stronger than before. Calm isn't the absence of chaos, it's the strength to remain steady in the middle of it. You don't need to control the storm. You only need to stop letting it control you. So the next time life hits you hard or love shakes your foundation, remember, you've trained for this, you were made for this, and your calm is not a weakness, it's a reflection of your power. Drop a comment, I am unshaken, no matter the storm. Chapter 4. Embracing Stillness. The power of presence in love and life. In a world that celebrates speed, noise, and constant movement, stillness is a rare power. In relationships, men often feel pressured to always be on, to be endlessly active, to constantly chase, to impress, to perform. This is a recipe for burnout and chaos. But the man who understands the power of stillness knows that true strength lies in presence, not action. Presence is not about being physically there. It's about being emotionally and mentally in the moment, free from distractions, free from anxiety, and free from the noise of the world. When you cultivate the ability to be fully present, you become a source of calm, strength, and clarity, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Let's explore how embracing stillness can empower you to remain calm in both love and life. 1. The art of active listening in relationships. In many relationships, the loudest voice isn't the most effective. The man who listens deeply is the man who understands and connects at a profound level. When you truly listen, without interrupting, without planning your response, without letting your mind wander, you create a space for genuine connection. You hear her fears, her hopes, her frustrations. You see her as she is, not as you want her to be. Active listening is not just hearing words, it's being attuned to the emotions behind them. It's holding space for her thoughts and feelings without judgment, without trying to fix anything. When you do this, you give her a sense of calm because you show her that you are present, you care, and you're not just reacting, you're responding with understanding. 2. Develop the skill of silence. In love, many men make the mistake of thinking that silence in a relationship means distance or indifference. But true silence is a powerful tool for connection. The man who can hold his silence in moments of tension or uncertainty communicates more than any words ever could. Silence in love is not about avoiding difficult conversations or shutting down. It's about choosing to listen, reflect, and remain calm when things get heated. Silence allows for thoughtfulness before response. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. When you're able to sit in silence without feeling the need to fill the space, you show her that you are in control of your emotions. You don't need to react. You don't need to chase. You can simply be, and that in itself creates an unspoken bond of trust. 3. Disengage from distractions. Be here now. In the age of technology and constant notifications, it's easy to lose touch with the present moment. We're constantly checking our phones, responding to emails, and allowing external noise to dictate our attention. But real calm begins when you intentionally disengage from distractions. In love, this means putting away your phone when you're with her. In life, it means focusing fully on the task at hand, whether that's work, a conversation, or your own personal growth. True presence requires discipline. It's not about trying to multitask, but about dedicating yourself to one thing at a time. When you can do this, you not only gain calm for yourself, but you also become more attractive and effective in your relationships. People are drawn to those who make them feel truly heard and valued. 4. Mindfulness. The key to emotional clarity. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in every moment, no matter how small. When you're mindful, you're not letting your emotions run wild. You're in control. You observe your feelings without being consumed by them. This is especially important in love. When you're mindful, you can notice emotional triggers before they take hold of you. You can pause before reacting, whether that's anger, frustration, jealousy, or even overexcitement. This pause allows you to choose your response thoughtfully, rather than being swept away by your emotions. Mindfulness creates space between stimulus and reaction. It's the key to emotional clarity. And it's a practice that brings peace in both love and life. 5. Let go of the need to control. Outcome. Control is an illusion, and the man who learns to let go of control experiences the ultimate freedom. In love, control manifests as possessiveness, jealousy, or the fear of losing the relationship. In life, it can take the form of obsessing over every detail or worrying about every possible outcome. But true peace comes when you learn to trust the process. You show up fully, you give your best, and then you release the outcome. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the flow of life and allowing things to unfold naturally. The calm man is not desperate for validation. He doesn't chase outcomes, he does his best, then lets the results take care of themselves. When you practice this, you'll find that your peace remains intact, no matter what happens. 6. Cultivate patience. In love. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about maintaining a state of calm while you wait. In love, patience allows you to remain grounded when things aren't moving at the speed you want. You don't force the relationship to progress faster than it should. You understand that deep connections take time. You give her space to be herself, to grow, and to open up in her own time. Patience also means trusting the timing of life. It means believing that everything unfolds as it should, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. In love, as in life, the calm man knows that patience is an act of faith, not weakness. 7. Practice. Gratitude to cultivate peace. Gratitude is the practice that shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you have, rather than what you lack, you begin to see life and love in a new light. Gratitude brings calm because it shifts your focus away from problems and toward blessings. When you feel grateful, you're not chasing after what you don't have, you're at peace with what you do have. In relationships, practicing gratitude means appreciating her presence, her qualities, her efforts. In life, it means being thankful for the opportunities, the lessons, and the challenges. Gratitude transforms your mindset and, in turn, your emotional state. In a world that's constantly pushing you to do more, to be more, and to chase more, the power of stillness is a quiet revolution. When you learn to be fully present in every moment, you unlock a depth of peace that nothing and no one can take away. Your calm is not just a result of what's happening around you. It's a reflection of the mastery you've cultivated within yourself. Drop a comment. I am present, and my peace is my strength.